Hey there. Get a beat going. And I'm fixing to play. And I'm gonna do a little guitar holding. So I'm gonna pick up my instrument. That's first step. As you can hear, there's a beat in the background. That's the most important part. To be playing along with the beat. It doesn't matter which kind of beat. Don't condition yourself to I can only play to this beat or that beat. You learn how to do it by doing it. So 2 fingers. I'm trying to get the fingers. Two fingers on the 2nd fret. And you're not on the 2nd fret because the fret is, of course, a piece of metal, and you're really in between those 2 pieces of metal. But your fingers are really tender, and one of the things that happens is there's all kinds of things that cause you not to play for very long. It's really important to do it my way. In what I'm showing you here. I've only seen one other person introduce beginners to this particular thing, which is just an E minor lifted up and down. Notice you have 2 sounds. You have the sound when all the fingers are up, it sounds one way, and when you put your fingers down, it's another way. So those are the 2 sounds you're messing with. And the thing that we're doing keeps going. You're getting used to the feeling of things keeping going regardless of what's happening to you. Like, I'm interested in setting you up to you so you get in the habit of letting your mistakes go behind you and only going forward in the music, never trying to go back and fix it. A lot of people encourage you to do that, and that's slows down your progress. It makes things very stilted. Especially the act of trying to go back and fix your mistake. I try to get people not to do that, but realize that we keep going forward in the 4-part structure of pattern or whatever we're doing, just keep it going, following the groove. And you shouldn't get in the habit of even being focused so much on yourself that your mistakes are so important that they interrupt the flow, which is always going forward. We're never going backward. Unless you're taking your record and spinning it backwards on the vinyl thing, or I'm saying, don't go backwards. So you should only go forward. People who stop, because they're playing by themselves, they stop. It shows. People who do that when they're by themselves, because every time they make a mistake, you can feel them cramp right up because they need to go back and fix it. Or actually, literally try while everybody's hanging out playing music, try to go back, or they want to stop and do it over and stuff like that. Very much a waste of time. I mean, what your goal is to, and that's the thing, people. So I'm talking and I'm keeping the beat. You notice that? I mean, I don't, I haven't said this yet, but don't try to copy me. The first thing you should do is to find what emerges from yourself, because if what the first thing you do is do it like me, right? I'm imposing something on you, and that kills whatever's already inside you that needs to emerge for you to be happy and have a happy result. You're still playing, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm doing this in a certain way to try to get you to have a really good result so that you are motivated. Are your fingers still moving up and down while I'm talking, right? Because the beat's still going on. What I'm doing is kind of like a solo or something. Anyway, the point is, don't try to copy first, right? Big secret is, the hardest thing to find is somebody who's doing original stuff, right? I mean, at the other end of this, have you ever heard anybody say that? Oh, music these days always sounds the same, right? Well, then quit teaching people how to do it the same way as you do it, right? Let new things emerge, right? So, don't impose, like, do it this way on the awkward student. You want that student to start to, like, feel it? What they want, you know, what this means to them. Nobody needs everybody standing on the stage doing the same thing together. Unless somebody's weak and needs to be carried. Okay? That's the raw. Yeah, and you don't always have to play everything. Then that's the most a lot of people I know don't have it. What are you doing, Kate? A lot of people I know, they don't have a sense that they're being supported by others. And whatever you do it's not everything is about you. Right? So if you realize you're participating in something that somebody else's participation makes it so that you can do what you're doing, then you appreciate the fact that your bass player is, you know, keeping you together on that beat or whatever. You appreciate your drummer, and you don't think that every mistake is everything that's happening. You know, like, you don't start thinking like that. And certainly don't start thinking that every mistake you make means that everybody's got to stop and go back and say, what? Right? What are you doing there? Okay, so there's two sounds. So, oh, that works. So this is like down, down, up, down, right? Up and down and down. Each time you get to lift your fingers can rest, and that means you can play longer. And the most important thing is to play a long time. Have you ever seen somebody kind of noodle around on a guitar and then quit? Yeah, you're really missing it. Once you picked up your guitar, you're doing some guitar holding. You know, there's all kinds of different ways. See what comes out of you, right? Spend a lot of time, and all the time you spend, where am I? All the time you spend is the time you're learning. The time you spend, like, paying for your expensive guitar, is that the time you're learning? You know, it's when you have the guitar in your hand and you're relating to a beat. Oh, let's disassociate ourselves with the I can by changing the beat, and let's change it radically. Cat, what are you doing? This is my cat. For some reason he decided to eat the plant. Now, okay, so let's change it radically. Okay, and don't allow yourself to say to yourself, I can't play it this at that beat. You know, always be like trying to say, I'm gonna try to cop this strange to me new groove, because, and this is the important part, people who only play the same music as other people are only hanging out with the same people who bought the same records and went to the same kind of schools and wear the same kind of hat. And boring, limiting. I like playing with people from different countries. Hey, Dilly! That's my friend. He's from Sri Lanka, and he's a drummer, and he does very much different. And so I try to say, whoa, let me try to play with this very much different, right? This is the core of musical diversity. And if you pattern, the cat is playing the piano, and stopping the piano. And if you pattern yourself into this thing, what are you doing? You turn it off. Go. Go. And if you pattern yourself to, I can only do songs that I know, you gotta go. Oh. Come on. Usually, he'd be sleeping on the couch. I don't know why he wants to be in the show today. But I think you hear what I'm saying. A lot of people don't hear what I'm saying because it's really accepted. It's really kind of strange. And that's why we really don't want to get into this thing where we only play the songs that, you know, what song do you know? That's why you want to know what key. You know, so somebody can say, here's a song I know. Do you want to play that one? And you can say, sure. What key's it in? Let's go. Right? And you play other people's music. Right? It's a thing to learn somebody's music. That's a respect. It's an act of respect. To learn somebody's music. Because life is short. And times is hard. And it's a lot of work. You know, and you do put a lot of work into knowing how to learn somebody's song, right? So you don't want to take people's time up and make them like learn your song unless you have something to offer them. So then, if you want to play, then you just get ready to play. Just play. So, and that's why we want to learn how to lead a groove. You know, say here, this is how this goes. So you tell other people and project it how this song is that you're fixing to do is going to go. So, but that's, you know, further on up the road. First thing is to learn to follow that kind of instruction and not need a written invitation, or to take up people's time in the basement learning songs over and over. You know, I'm always talking about shortcut, jamming now. Okay, so that's a lot of talking again. So the cat was messing with my settings, and I'm gonna turn this up. You're still playing, right? You're still holding your guitar. I hope you're not tired or nothing. I ain't tired. You tired? I'm standing here. Because everybody knows I try to keep people off the chair at home and certainly in performance. Sitting in a chair in performance? Nah. Not at the front, you know what I'm saying? So this is a different beat, right? But I'm still doing the same thing. This is up and down. And I don't know how it's coming out to you. But right now, I can do that. That's open, with the fingers down. Open, fingers down. Those two sounds, the open and the finger down sound. Those are the two that I'm going back and forth between, lifting up and down. As much variety as I can, because the best thing to practice is getting inspired by what somebody else is doing and find something else that locks into it, that doesn't go over the top of it, that may complement it, right, or support it. That's a really good thing to contribute as some support to the rhythm. Yeah. Don't be standing there waiting for your solo, Jack. Contribute to the rock and roll of the song till it's your solo. Because that, you know, people can see you doing that, you know. So that's just what's coming out of me right now. And then you're doing this, and then making it feeling groovy on the fingers. They get. So, should talk about Squish Finger. Squish Finger, that's a thing that I talk about. It's a special thing that I developed over the years of teaching people how to play guitar. And since if you're doing this at least a little bit along with me, you may be getting quite kind of raw at that fingertip. And this is something that happens with everybody. With everybody, as they don't have an alternative thing to do. And so when the fingertips get raw, what they do is they quit. But we have a whole different thing to give the fingertips a rest. And I'm going to switch now to that. And instead of going down with the fingertips like that, I'm going to take my finger, any finger, whichever one that does it, and if you need to do two and have a buddy so that they really get any pressure, a little, only pressure when you're strumming, not, you don't have to hold it the whole time, only when you're going bloop. When you go bloop, you go bloop. When you go bloop, you press. Don't hold on it. The whole thing is, don't hold the chords. Don't hold. Move. Get the move. That's why we go up and down. But now our fingertips are sore, so let's give them a break and go to Squish Finger. Boom, boom, boom. Now, this is a substitute for an A chord, so you're not going all the way across. This is not a bar chord. You're not going all the way across. Don't try to go all the way across. Don't worry about that. Only go 4 strings across. 4 strings across. Don't worry about that little one. She comes off. You'd be surprised at how much allowance there is for this kind of random variation. Anyway, don't worry about that last E string. What we're really doing is these 3, the D, G, and B strings is really where our focus is on that pressure. But it's like, just grab it. Just go like that. Just squish. That's all. Don't go all the way across. Do it with the strongest finger. And don't grasp it so hard that your finger gets like strained. Because this pressure is what we're building strength for. And it does prepare you for things like, have you ever heard of a power chord? Yes. A power chord is 2 squish fingers at the same time. So, in order to get your hand strengthened for that, and for bar chords, for those who are trying to get ready for jazz chords, don't try to do it all at once. Especially if you're a beginner. But, if you're a beginner, try to start early. See what I'm saying? That's what Squish Finger is developed for. Is to develop that strength right away. Don't wait. Don't play cowboy chords for the first anything. Just hang with me and play Squish Finger, which would be, of course, A at the 2nd fret. And again, we can do it to like different beats. You always wanna I'm saying, if you're starting out, because if you're not starting out, you don't need to be told this, that you should always just try to jam out to every beat that you can get your experience of, you know? So let's change this to, I don't know. Oh, whoops. And let's, okay, do a Squish Finger thing. You can do it anywhere. This is your first chokeable chord. This is me doing a Squish Finger up the neck. And since we're not actually playing together, you can play it anywhere and explore it. I really encourage people, because now that your fingertips are sore, you probably don't want to play on those for a while until you pick up your instrument again. Okay, so what am I doing here? Okay, that's 2 fingers. That means that's me doing 3 of them up the neck, right? squish finger and then open again. That would be a good place to start if this is really weak for you. And whatever finger is strongest, or if you have to have partners and buddies, if you have to have friends to get her done, right? So there's two sounds. The squish finger happening on the 2nd fret, which is technically A, and then open string like that. Or just go open like that again. It's the same principle we were working before, where you just use the open string sound as a combination. Okay, so that's up to the 3rd fret and back to the 2nd fret, up to the 3rd fret and back to the 2nd fret. And if part of your hand is tired, that's when you develop the ability to do the squish finger with different parts of your hand. Until your hand is strong enough to do squish finger for a while, because that gives you longer time spent working on your guitar. The part that you don't really think about unless you turn this drum machine on. And that's the part where you're spending time keeping this thing going as a, participant. I mean, this is a really steady rhythm section you got going behind me here with a drum machine. It's keeping it going, so you're not doing it by yourself, as I mentioned before. It's not just you. And so if you stop, oh, I really don't know what to do, and then you can start again. Or people who literally play over the top of each other completely, like it's not like... Everybody knows I'm really liking this squish finger and open thing, which is like a squish finger, whatever squish finger works for you. And then open, like the other one we were doing, where we were our 2nd sound, because it gives you a rest again. And for me right now, it's going to be like hopefully easy enough for me to talk to you at the same time. Hey, when was the last time you saw anybody try to talk to you while they were playing? But if you go to a show, you'll see guitar players walk around and like they'll be talking to the bass player while they're working. So that's just a little glimpse of how useful it is to be able to talk while you're working, while you're playing. So you should practice doing it and have a conversation. Like I'm practicing it now by talking about what I'm doing and trying to keep it going at the same time. Anyway, so I've been upping and downing like that, right? But I was gonna say about several of the concepts that I mentioned, like supporting others, being aware that it's not all about you, keeping things going even when the chips are down, like not collapsing just because somebody behind you broke a string, or some drunk fell into the drum or something, and you just like, oh, I can't manage to play because everything's interrupting. So, are we still playing? So, since you're by yourself, you can be playing all the time. You should be playing all the time. And don't forget, there was one other concept that I usually mention, that when you are playing at the same time as you can experiment with, see, like I was doing this, right? And whatever you're doing, maybe you're doing this, or maybe you're doing And that is you doing something in combination with what I'm doing. And when you do that, and you experiment with that, that's you feeling and hearing and getting used to moving about in that world. Okay? So you're hearing what you're doing, and you're hearing what I'm doing, and you're inventing things that interact with it, not necessarily copying it until your hand and your own sense of the instrument is stronger, right? And your sense of what the instrument does is not about me saying, do this with the instrument. It's about you picking it up and experimenting. See how that's all Squish Finger? So that was me spending a little time experimenting with what I would do if I changed, did something different. You don't need me to tell you what to do. And when you're starting, in order to get a more satisfactory result, I find it very, very important to encourage you to try your own thing, what comes out of you, while your hand gets stronger. I have no idea how long I've been doing this. I've been guitar holding for a while, and I've been standing up. See my strap in my music room, and it's snowing here in Wisconsin again. Now, if there's anybody from my guitar class playing along, I hope they I'm going to have to write it in the description that I hope they spent some time working on those single strings and soloing over this, right? And maybe rehearing some of the things that I really think are important, especially the more spiritual aspects of it, of what the musical experience, like people always talk about the math. They talk about the math, but then they don't really use it. You know how they don't really talk about like tonic, subdominant, and dominant stuff like we do. Like that's how we write our stuff down and think about like where we are with the time and stuff. That's the math. But then there's the spiritual stuff about not making yourself the center of things. And about surrendering to a rhythm outside yourself and realizing that the metronome isn't wrong, honey. And being flexible and open to other people who play differently than you, instead of limiting yourself to only playing the same music that other people who bought the same album as you did, or memorize the same songs as you do. Remember anything I've got? This is just plain string open. I hope you felt like you were able to come up with something that kept you going. That's the most important part, is to keep playing for a long time and just don't pick it up a little bit and then put it back down. Guitar holding on a snowy day. If you have any comments or questions about anything I talked about, I'm going to send this off to two people who've been waiting for me to get them together with something. But make sure to go with have a beat that you're doing the thing to. Oh, and if you have trouble, if you have any trouble figuring out how to play, start here. And I don't mean thinking about it. I don't mean doing it like somebody else. Hear me? I mean, take yourself to the beat. This is you. The beat is larger than you. The beat goes on beyond you. The beat doesn't care about your mistakes. Okay? You are not the center now. Don't study music there. your beat is beyond, it's you, and this is its representation here now, and you are to find your way to something of that beat. And the best bet is to dance yourself. And the easiest way is just to do this, okay? Your head dance, your head dancing, or your toe dancing, right? Those are just dancings. And if if somebody didn't mess with you from being a child, and something didn't interfere with your connection here to whatever, you find yourself open to in a beat. Especially if you're exposing yourself to many different cultures. Yeah? Okay? So here we are, right? And then, I'm a little bit sick, excuse me. And then, we're gonna have something emerge from over here. Hey, let's combine the two things we've been doing. This fingertip thing, the E minor thing, on the ends of the fingers, up and down right there. We'll combine that with a squish finger at the same fret, which is at the second. So squish finger is there and E minor. Squish finger and E minor. Squish finger and E minor. Now we're changing back and forth between those two chords. And those two positions, those two basic positions. Wearing out the fingertips and wearing out the side and straining the side of the hand. Wearing out the fingertips and straining the side of the finger. And straining the side of the finger and wearing out the fingertips. But that gives you more time, right, to enjoy your music. Because you're resting each part and you can strengthen as you go along. You wouldn't believe how this system gets you ready for whatever comes next, man. I'm telling you. Most people who teach, they start much deeper in than this. This is like the beginning of the beginning. That's what I do. It's a deliberate strengthening of the hand for two positions, one of which is usually left out until much later, which I do not understand, and that's our squish finger. Okay? That's me setting you up to learn something in an advanced fashion that is usually held back. Also, I deliberately go for the up and down. Because it rests the fingers and you can still play. You can hear the two different sounds. And you're getting, for those who have never been exposed to strings before, you're getting kind of a sense of how strings work. Squish finger. Combined with this in different ways. A, E minor, and A. In different ways, so you're going back and forth between those two chords. Hey, I gotta quit. It's been experimental, and I'd be interested if you do, like, especially those people who think to themselves as they start this to pick up a tuned guitar. Anybody especially who's been in the class in the past, I would love to hear what you have to say. But I would especially like to know that you sat down with a tuned instrument and tried some of these things, and at least a couple of times went through what I just talked about and played along while I'm talking with the beat. And then after that, find a beat on YouTube or whatever and invent something with those same techniques. Just to keep your hand in action, to get it strengthened for the next steps. These are the baby steps. Oh, I know what I was going to say, is that I recently, there's two things I was going to say. I recently went across, I study music all the time, and I recently saw on YouTube, Mark Knopfler was a very famous guitar player. He was giving a lesson, a beginner's lesson in guitar, and he used this up and down thing with E minor. Mark Knopfler. When he goes to teach guitar, that's where he starts too. It's the first time I've ever seen it because I came upon it my own idea. out of the clear blue many years ago. But I do have somebody, I do now know that somebody else does that, Mark Knopfler, which that ain't shabby. Another thing is, my friend Tom Attridge is the person who started the phrase, here's the cat again, photobombing, video bombing, the thing here. He's never up here instead of, like, if I'm not here today. Anyway, Tom Attridge is like the inventor of the idea of guitar hand holding. I would credit him. And I recently heard, I listen to podcasts all the time, and I will find the link. I recently heard a podcast that talks about Tom, you wouldn't believe this, but he's gone, but there's been a scientific study that if people actually pick up their instruments, they learn quicker. And I'll find that study. They learn more if you put it, make them pick it up. Yeah. And they have a scientific study, literally. I wish I could tell Tom, but he's gone. Tom Attridge, for many years hanging backstage at some of your most important rock stars' stages, came up with the idea that people who are hanging out should be handed a guitar and say, here, hold this, while the jamming is going around. And it's basically the idea that just pick up the guitar, put it in your lap, see what happens. Don't be like thinking about whether you're good enough and whether you have the gift of like, go away with that. Yes? Don't even that's a whole manufactured structural of, don't even think about it. Just pick up the guitar. Yeah. So press, go back through this video, and especially when it's a really snowy day outside.